Hey, Mama Tree here. Today I want to share about the 7 dimensions of well-being. You're probably hearing phrases like we're evolving to higher dimensions and we're becoming multidimensional beings. And I wanted to offer a framework, a really grounded framework for what that might mean, at least what it means to me for the last several years. So here is the model. And I believe that the 7 dimensions of well-being are physical, emotional, mental, social, environmental, financial, and spiritual. And the order here doesn't really matter so much. The idea is we only have so much time and energy and attention to invest in various places. I think most of us are probably functioning and fairly balanced in 3 to 4 of these dimensions. And the other dimensions represent opportunities for us to learn and grow. So when I say we're maybe only in 3 of them, let me give an example. I might be investing in my physical well-being. I might have a good workout routine and a good diet and really pay a lot of attention to my health, which is a good thing. And at the same time, I might have invested a lot in my education and my skill building, my career, and that could lead me to financial stability. And so I'm doing well in that dimension. And then maybe I have an active social life and a vibrant network of friends and colleagues. So those could be the 3 areas that I'm putting most of my time and attention into. Yet, maybe I'm hearing about environmental issues, feeling a little overwhelmed about how can I change my life or my consumption patterns. I might be experiencing a lot of stress, and that can lead to mental and emotional challenges. So I don't know very many people who are actually fully rocking all 7 dimensions. I think there are some, but it would be speculation to say who. So I think that throughout time, we might invest here and we get a pretty good balance physically. And then, we've got 3 or 4 of these things going and we decide we want to go focus on one of these other dimensions. And sometimes things slip. I remember having lots of physical, mental, and emotional well-being, and then getting really caught up in my career and being so busy that some of my self-care routines slipped. So the physical, mental, and emotional well-being can slip and come out of balance. But I think it's natural that these things are kind of going up and down and shifting, one to the forefront, one to the back. But I know we all want to be our best and brightest selves. So how can we bring in more balance? How can we attend to 4, 5, 6, even 7 of these dimensions at once? It's a good question. So think of it like this. Let me grab a prop. Each of these dimensions is sort of like a container, and I can pour my focus, attention, energy, awareness into these containers. And I think starting off, I only have so much juju that I can invest. So I pick a couple of them. And it doesn't matter which 3. I'll pick a couple of them. I'm doing pretty good at them. I have the certain amount of set juju, attention, awareness, whatever you want to call it, focus, and they're in these 3 containers. Now if I want to add a 4th one and it's empty when I start out, or it's kind of shallow maybe, and I want to focus more on it, I either have to find a new source of energy, attention, and awareness to put into this, or I need to spread it around a little bit. And we can very quickly get spread too thin. So, why is this important? If you are conscious of where you're putting your energy, you can be more strategic about what you're doing next. So if you're like me, I've had the tendency to want to go really far, really fast, and rock everything all at once. And I get spread too thin, and then I run out of juju altogether and have a crash. So I've got some questions for you to help you think through where you're at. Right now, which containers are holding most of your energy? Again, the list is mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, social, financial, and environmental. So jot down on a little piece of paper in your journal maybe, which 3 do you spend the most time and attention on? Which are the fullest, if you will? And then the next thing is, so maybe we can't get a new source of additional attention, energy, time, awareness. Sometimes you do, but a lot of times you can't just squeeze extra energy out of thin air. So maybe there's some leaks. So after you've thought of which containers you're investing most of your energy in, ask yourself, are there any of these places where my energy is leaking out? For instance, maybe your career has become a little bit toxic and you're carrying work home into your personal and family life. The stress of work may be keeping you up at night, so you're not sleeping as well. You may be experiencing headaches or tension, stomach aches, all kinds of things. It sort of leaks into your physical and starts to drain that. That can also drain you mentally and emotionally. If that gets bad enough, you might experience a job loss or a career change or a health crash that feeds back and changes your whole financial situation. So these are all integrated. That's why they're in these concentric circles. So take a minute, and you can pause me if you need more time, and ask yourself, where is my energy possibly leaking? And along with where it's leaking, think about what might be causing your energy to be leaking or draining. For instance, socially, you may have a friend who is going through a lot and requires more attention. And that might be a worthwhile investment for a period of time. Or it might go on and you realize that it's kind of an energy vampire situation. And so that's a drain. You're losing energy. And now the fourth question here is, what could I do to fix these leaks and drains? For instance, in the example I just gave, maybe you need to take some time away from a certain friend. Maybe in the earlier example with issues at work, maybe you need to have a conversation with the supervisor, or maybe you need to pick up a new skill set, go to a training so that you understand a job function better. Whatever it is that is leaking, there's bound to be ways to patch that leak, repair that drain, so that you're adding more energy to your system. Now another piece of this, I'm flipping to a diagram. This is something that most of you are already aware of. This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And what Maslow explains in this model is that we need to have psychological and physical safety and love and esteem and all these things as a foundation before we can move into self-actualization. For instance, Da Vinci could paint the Mona Lisa and sketch these amazing designs because he was physically safe. He had food, he had shelter, he had self-esteem. So I don't think this is static necessarily. I think we can kind of go up and down here. something happens and maybe knocks us down a few pegs, and then we strive up again. But the point here is that we have to have food and shelter before we can move on to other things. So if we take that back to the diagram of the 7 dimensions of well-being, the hierarchy offers us a little bit of a guidepost. We can't just, for instance, we can't focus everything on our spiritual awareness if, and achieve really heightened spiritual awareness if we're struggling to feed ourselves and pay the bills. So that's something to keep in mind. And the goal here for you is identify where you're putting your energy, identify where it might be leaking, how you could fix that, and start to think about what it is that you want to focus on next. And don't try to do them all at once. Pick one. And just be aware that if I've got 3 and I shift my focus to this 4th one, if I haven't properly drained all these leaks, then these are going to shrink a little bit. And so plan for that. Be ready for that. And I've got a couple of more videos coming about this. I'm going to be tying this work back into the teachings about how to be a change agent and how to influence the world and be the change that you want to be in the world. So I'll be doing that soon, and I'll see you then. Good luck. Thanks. Bye.